What's up, Paul?
How you doing?
Yeah. You can put the link in the chat.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
What's up, Brenda? Ryan, how's it going? Neil, what's
Okay,
up,
should
man?
be good to go now. Hey, yeah, I just came back from shooting a ship, and so I'm kind of scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, I just got home.
I can hardly hear you. Your volume's really low, Justin.
I said I just got home.
Oh, how'd it go
Surprisingly,
today?
half the kids didn't come to school today.
Really? Why?
Hmm.
Friday day off or what?
Well, they just came back to school Wednesday, so I don't know. We were missing probably 8 or 9 kids this morning. Usually, at the most, we're only missing like maybe 2 or 3.
Really? Wow. Brenda's here. Yep. Neil, Waypoint.
Only got a few months before summer break too. About three, 3 or 4 months.
So summer break, you're off for what then? 2 or 3 months?
Um, it's like a little under 3 months.
Okay.
I think it's like 2 months and then 3 weeks or something.
So it's like 11 weeks off or whatever.
Yeah.
So how's the job going? Are you enjoying it or
Well, it's going good.
good?
The
That's
only thing that really sucks about it is just the split shift of, having to go in for
go
three,
in and
4 hours,
back out. Yeah.
going home. Because then you go home and you start relaxing. You're like, oh, you get all comfortable. And you got to turn around and go back in for another 3, 4 hours.
Now how far is it you have to drive every day to go to and from?
Well, to get to the bus yard, it's only like a 5, 10 minute drive.
Okay. So it's like going just across town a little bit, huh?
Yeah. It's only probably about 5 miles from my house. Not very far. In the mornings when there's no traffic at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, shit, you can get there in probably 8 minutes. During the afternoon, it'd probably take you about 15, depending on how heavy traffic is.
Good morning, Neil. How you doing? Well, I'm glad it's worked out for you because I know that you've been looking for a while to find a spot that you could comfortably fill. So
Yeah, it's a good job.
do you think you'll elevate at some point in time to be a bus driver?
No,
They don't pay them that much difference, do
I
they?
don't want to. No, and not for all the crap they have to go through to become drivers. Hell no, it's not worth it. They have
Okay.
to go through a bunch of DOT inspections and DOT
Background check
certifications.
and everything else. Yep.
Well, not background check, but they have to do a bunch of DOT testing, like medical tests. And, yeah, I'm not doing all that. Screw that.
Giggles. Hey, what you doing?
They don't even pay a $5 difference between attendants and drivers. It's a $3 difference, which is
Oh,
nothing.
I would think that they'd pay the driver like $10 an hour more.
You would think so, but no. It'd make it more enticing for people to want to
Be
come
a
work there.
driver, right? What you don't have a union that you're in or anything.
They have one, but I'm not in it.
Yeah, okay.
But our county just got bumped from number 3. We are now the number 1 fastest growing county in the United States right now, out
Wow.
of everybody. We got bumped from number 3 to number 1. What's up, Joe?
Up, Justin. What's up? Oh, what's up?
Hey,
Well,
Joe,
what
how's
you-
it going?
Which in turns means that most of the county and cities in this county, their budgets should be getting bigger, which means more money. They should be able to pay better. Because
Yeah.
I know Grady is getting a huge boost in funding from the state and from the county and stuff. That boy gonna end up doubling the size of his department at the rate he's going.
He needs more money for more bullets. So he can shoot people more.
Well, like I was saying, telling Paul right before you came in, we went from the number third to number one fastest growing county in the whole United States.
Wow.
And the amount of, I mean, dude, the amount of apartment complexes and housing complexes and industrial buildings popping up around here, it's fucking insanity. If there's an empty lot, something's going there.
Yeah. We're gonna build a whole bunch of empty lots in Florida. But they're probably not gonna build. I mean in California.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if they rebuild there.
Are you watching Fox News, Joe?
No, I'm not.
They're getting ready to sentence Trump.
Oh, what up?
Is it federal charges?
Yep. Felony,
No, state charges.
Yeah.
state felony charges. And it has been revealed that Marshawn has been a big donor to the Democrat Party and to the Democratic president.
Well, unfortunately,
Well, they
he
knew
can't,
that before he started the trial.
unfortunately, he can't pardon state charges. He can only pardon federal.
It's a go where?
It has
It's at
to
the
be up,
Supreme Court. They're trying to delay it.
no, if the Supreme Court steps in, there ain't no stopping that.
Well, the Supreme Court ruled yesterday that they won't delay it.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Been out of touch.
No, yeah. Well, Trump just said something this morning about they put an appeal on it. So, but that's the thing is, this is what I said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court doesn't have to take every case that comes in front of them. They can decide which cases they want to hear. If they don't want to hear it, they'll just tell you whatever court made the decision, it's upheld by them.
No.
So if they don't want to hear the case,
Yeah.
they don't have to hear it. They can just say, we don't want to even deal with it. If a circuit court judge said that's what the sentencing was, that's what it is.
You don't want to be out of. I'll go away.
Problem is these judges are not holding up Constitution
Ah.
or the law the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I see the flip is supposed to be out on the 16th of this month, Joe.
That don't mean nothing to me.
When half these charges were out of the statute of limitations and how they were still able to prosecute that,
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Nobody does.
Hey, Paul, I don't give a flip.
They do whatever they want to do. The hell with the public, the hell with the law. They just tailor it to what they want to do.
Well,
Yeah,
it was out of the
well, no,
statute of limitations. It's out of the statute of limitations. I mean, that's as bad as retrying somebody that falls under the double jeopardy law. It literally says you can't do it, but yet a state would say, "Oh yeah, we're going to do it anyway,"
Yeah.
and then
They
they just
said.
get away with doing it.
That's why I can't see how it hasn't been dismissed.
I don't either because most of the charges were out of the statute of limitations of 7 years.
And most of them were misdemeanor charges, and they decided to change them to felonies.
I don't know how any of that shit. And I don't even care who it is that they're charging. That has nothing to do with it. What they did at the end of the day isn't legal, but yet it's getting pushed as legal through the system.
Right.
Justin doesn't remember.
Hey,
So if
Lance.
they could
I
do
don't
that for
care.
him, they could do it for anybody.
I don't care if it was Biden getting charged with that. If it's not legal, it's not legal, period.
Right.
And it shouldn't be pushed through. I don't care which side you're on, that shouldn't be upheld, period.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
now we can. You were cutting out there for a minute.
Did you know, Justin doesn't remember this, but the old Nixon phrase, "I'm not a crook."
Yeah.
Remember that?
You go,
Remember that?
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook. That's what Trump will be saying. I'm not a crook.
I'm saying whether the charges were, whether I'm sure whatever they charged him with was probably an actual thing that happened. I don't know, but like I said, if they're out of the statute of limitations, they're out of the statute of limitations. Period. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to be able to charge somebody with that.
Go away.
You gotta follow the law, whether you agree with it or not. Because like even Grady, he's very anti-marijuana, but he said if you guys vote in Amendment 3, he goes, I will enforce it because that's what the people wanted. He came out with a whole statement, said that. He said if you guys decide as a state to legalize it, I will be behind you, whether he agrees with it or not. That's the way you should be.
Yeah,
Hey,
it
Paul?
should, it should be unpolitical, you know?
You're supposed to be unbiased with the law. I think Lance was trying to ask you something, Paul.
Lance, what?
Oh, hey, Paul, I'm gonna text you on your phone in about an hour and ask you a question
Okay,
about your Neo, and then you can let me know.
all right.
But I'm driving now, and I just thought I would let you know that it'll be on your text on your phone.
If I can figure that out, yeah, okay. I don't text, but okay.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Okay.
What, Joe? Maybe you can give him my phone number or,
I have your phone number, Paul.
okay, just call me.
That's how he was going to text you.
I'll call you.
Just call me direct.
Okay, I'll do that. Raining up here in Seattle.
Is it?
Rain here in Louisiana.
But is it
Not gonna
warm?
fly. It is 45 right now at 6. What is it? About 6:15.
I went
Johnny?
through a shift this morning and it was 10 degrees.
Whoa.
In fact, that ice that's going down the river, it was snapping and crackling and popping as it went by.
Well, we're raining in 46 there, Lance.
Okay. So you're not getting snow. Do you ever get snow, Joe?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
About every 10
It
years.
doesn't stick around though, does it, Joe?
About every 10 years, we get snow that sticks for about a day.
We used to get
Yeah,
snow in the desert a lot, but it didn't stick. But up in the mountain ranges, you would see the mountain ranges were covered in snow. Actually made
Or
for a
ma-
really good picturesque view.
Our mountains got about 6 inches last night.
Oh, see, I lived down in the valley in the desert, and we had big mountain ranges around us, and so
Yeah.
the all the mountains would be all snow capped, but there wouldn't be any snow down in the valley in the desert area.
Yeah.
And that happens regularly, almost every year. And like I said, if you're somebody like a photographer, makes for some good pictures.
That rules Joe out.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it snowed quite a bit in the desert. It wasn't that uncommon. It would come down, and as soon as it hit your hand or the ground, it would just melt. But you'd see the flakes coming down. I don't know how many times we drove up to the mountains and loaded the back of pickup trucks with snow and then brought it back down. We'd have quick snowball fights before it melted.
And you get a lot of rain in the desert, and then the next year or the next spring, flowers pop up from everywhere. You've never seen them before.
Yep.
I mean, I've got pictures of fields of flowers, and it's from the desert.
My dad's old house, he had 4 acres fenced in, and within the fence, it was all grass. So you'd see like all this desert and then just a huge patch of grass that was all fenced in, nice and squared up and everything around a lake.
So Joe, I had a parent send me in a picture, and she used her iPhone of her son, and it's pretty much a full body shot. Well, I tell the parents and the kids they have to send in a shot from heart to head. You know, it's a portrait. It's not a body. You know, it's nothing fancy. And so she sends this in and says, "Tell me if you can crop this, and it'll be okay." So I crop it and send it back to her. I said, "It's pixelated and it will not print well in the yearbook. So please send me another." She sent me one and it was probably the exact same image. It almost looks like, but she cropped it, and it was like from the kid's belly button to the, 2 feet above his head. And I cropped that and I sent it back and I said, "This one seems to be worse. If you're taking the shot with your phone, you need to get as close as possible to him to get his heart to head, because any cropping with a cell phone is going to be garbage. If it's a professional camera, like a DSLR camera of some sort,
what you got to do is shoot it in higher resolution.
Cell phones suck. There's no way around it. People, look at their phone and say, "Oh, that's a great shot," but as soon as you try to print it, you can't print it very big. And who knows what quality? I don't know what her cell phone was either, but it's like, no, it doesn't work.
The one that has the one that has a really good camera, but the phone itself is shit, is the Google Pixel. That has a really good camera on it because they have one of the best sensors on that phone. But it's the phone itself is kind of shitty.
Are they still making the Google Pixel?
Yeah, they're still coming out with new ones. But it's that sensor technology that Google has. They have one of the best camera sensors on phones, and their camera is really good on the phone. It's better than Apple and Samsung's. But that's about the best thing on that phone. Everything else is kind of shit compared to the Apples or Samsungs.
Like comparing apples and oranges, is that what?
You can do raw photos on the Samsungs. There's actually a separate app for the camera for that. That does what is it? What's it called?
I just looked at what they published for me last night. I sent them 8 pictures last night. The main players of Mandeville and 3 shots of the main players from Salmon, the high school. 6 of them went in the paper. I pulled 6 last night in the paper.
Oh, really?
That's a good day. That's a good day.
What? So you went to all 3 games then?
No, I got there I walked in at the end of the 3rd period of the first game. So I walked in, sat down, shot about 20 shots of the 4th period of the freshman game, and then shot the JV, and then the JV got smacked. This team just outplayed them in the last half. And then the varsity came out and got outplayed in the first period, and then came out and just completely destroyed this team.
Wow. So how did the JV team end up that you went in the 4th quarter?
The freshman won. Freshman won by 1 point. I got there, and they won by 1 point.
All right.
So I got the best part of the game because it was back and forth, back and forth. But tonight, oh Lord, I had to confirm it with the coach to make sure I was looking at the schedule right. I got to be there at tonight. I got to be there at 3:15. I got to be it's at Mandeville, but I got to be there for 3:15, 3:30 at the latest. And it's better to be there better to leave here before that and get there for about 3, because this is a school coming from out of town with a lot of people. And I want to make sure I get a spot up front with one of the handicap spots, because everybody coming here, I think, have handicap stickers from this school. You know, so that's all right. What I do, let me tell you what I do. The police officer has a spot, and there's a whole red area where the fire hydrant's at, right?
Yeah.
And then the fire hydrant's further back, but it's right where the police car's at. So it's the red areas still have excess. And then there's 4 of the handicap spots. And instead of them putting them sideways, they put them long ways, parallel. So that makes that. I usually try to get the first spot. I'm usually there for the first one. If I get there and they're all filled, I back into that red area. I just back into that red area, put my press stuff in the thing, and go inside and tell the cop I'm parked next to you.
Andrew said he heard that Joe is in the snow right now.
Yeah, right. I don't know what snow you're talking about.
No, you're getting rain is all you're getting, right?
Who's that? Andrew?
Yeah.
Figures. Yeah, we're getting rain, and it's supposed to rain till about noon. But I think we got some really cold air coming in behind it. I'm gonna go back to my channel. That's what I was watching. I want to see the weather, basically.
How are the fires in LA? Are they subsiding?
No, they're still going strong.
They got new fires starting.
Yep. And they
New
don't know
ones starting in-
they don't know what's starting them.
Well, they got a guy yesterday for suspicion of arson.
Yep. Well, we live in a different society. There's those kind of people out there trying to cause trouble every chance they can.
Well, look at it this way. Not that long ago, all insurance companies canceled all the fire insurance in that area.
Yeah.
And that is a fire in that area. Suspicious. Get your tinfoil hats up.
And some clown flew his drone in FTR. Hey, Giggles, what's FTR mean?
TFR.
TFR, that's what I said. TFR.
What I'm about to get you. You're a teacher too. Come on.
Oh geez. It's too
You were
early.
gonna say TFR. You're gonna say TFR, but you just didn't get to the letter fast enough.
That's it.
I was thinking, what the hell is an SDR?
Yeah. Well, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, I thought he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about. I was like, I was getting Seattle in there. So Seattle, what?
What'd the guy hit? Did he hit a plane?
I have no idea. I didn't hear it. Like I said, I've been out of touch because of what I've been doing. I may have 11 games this week.
Hannah popped in the chat, said I had a Google Pixel. They're amazing cameras. Yeah, if you go into the Samsung camera, there's a download within the camera for Expert RAW. I don't know what it does, but
Well, my iPhone 15 Plus takes a pretty good picture in good light. If it's inside here, like in where my camera would take a good picture, don't. But I have I use it as the highest resolution. I don't even know what the resolution is.
So Justin, picture my parents like Paul when you try to explain them that, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like it'd take you 20 minutes to say, okay, this is how you're going to change it, and it wouldn't be worth it. So just step forward, get heart to head, you'll be fine.
So
Yeah.
there's Expert Raw, Pro Video, Panorama, Hyperlapse, Slow Motion, Super Slow Motion, Director's View, Portrait Video, and Single Take. Director's View is actually a pretty cool option. It actually allow you to use both the cameras at once. So you can, like if you're vlogging, you can walk and show the thing, like show whatever you're looking at, and then it will also use the front camera to catch you talking.
Is Hot Rod in here?
No.
No.
Now, no, if he comes in, it's usually the afternoon streams.
Lord help me.
He was here yesterday. I was gonna ask him a question, but
Oh, this is
Sometimes-
bullshit here.
sometimes when you hear your name, you end up popping in. Kind of like when we talk bad about Dre.
You don't
Dre's
talk
always-
bad about Dre, do you?
Yeah, Dre's always listening though.
I don't, but Joe always does, and I have to back Dre up.
Oh, you're the backup for Dre against Joe?
Yeah, I've got his back.
Okay. Is that the deal, Joe?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Uh,
starting the 3rd of February, the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th of February, because of the Super Bowl, we have TFRs.
a drone, MSN is reporting a drone collided with a Super Scooper plane fighting in LA wildfires.
Yeah, that was it.
But was it an individual or was it the newspaper? Because the newspaper was out there.
I don't know. I'm reading it now. Hold on.
And he's an idiot, whoever it was, because they know the planes are coming through. And you know they're coming through low. You don't put it up at all.
Yeah.
There was a TFR, I think, as well.
That's even worse. If you got a TFR up, you put the Neo
Yeah.
up. They don't have remote ID.
Well, they're saying that whoever it was wasn't supposed to have it up anyway, and they're not saying. I don't see anything here about it being a business or anything like that. I know they're all over Trump's radar now.
Oh yeah, that's the talk of the town.
Yeah,
All
well,
over who?
His sentencing is today at 11 o'clock.
No, the reporters keep bringing up the drone shit to him, and he said he's going to look into it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
You
they
mean
brought it.
the
He
East
was
Coast-
having
yeah,
a.
because he made a statement that the day after he gets in the office, he'll find out what's going on. He's going to let the public know. He says because they're keeping a lot of secrets away from the public.
Oh, he's got to
Yeah.
keep secret away too.
Well, because he said because he was having that dinner or breakfast with all the governors from like 34 states or something. There was a bunch of Republican governors, and there was 3 or 4 of them that were complaining about drones flying over military installations in their states. And he said he was going to look into it. So
So February 9th, there's a 30-mile flight restriction on the TFR for the Super Bowl.
You're lucky.
but-
You only have 30 miles. Ours usually goes to Olympia, from Seattle to Olympia, which is about 60 miles.
well,
Damn
that
shame.
doesn't surprise me because look how many drones have been got caught flying into stadiums and shit. I mean, there's been quite a few over the years that's happened during games. So.
Yeah. Now games is only 3 miles, but president, we don't let, I launched back in May down on Olympia when was it Biden was in town, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was like I was outside the zone, but I recall because I had to go down there and show a buddy something, so I flew down there.
Yeah, you go hit an Air Force One, you're gonna be fucked.
So I'm shocked you only have 30 miles, Joe. I guess Louisiana, they don't care as much, huh?
Yeah.
I don't even know why it has to be that far. That's kind of crazy. Like I've
Well,
seen maybe 10 or 15 miles, but 30,
Well,
that's
most of it is smaller than that. It's just a standard Super Bowl. But all the other stuff, it's a 7 mile radius.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it, Justin, that they have it that large?
yeah, I mean, because I could see 10, 15 miles, but 30 miles that's pretty crazy.
30 miles, the plane's still at 35,000 feet.
Oh, they'll allow manned aircraft to probably still fly in the area. They just have to
It
have a
says
permit.
commercials still available.
They're probably just putting that on like
Oh.
small planes and drones. Airliners,
Well, Paul-
they're probably not going to get affected.
Paul, what's today?
hey, it's Friday
Pizza.
Pizza Day.
What's up, Floyd?
Oh, just getting around. I had my
What up,
alarm set.
Lloyd?
'Cause I wanted to get up and do some stuff, and I hit the snooze and went back to sleep. Or no, I shut it off. I didn't hit the snooze. I just shut it clear off. So
Yeah, but the good thing is you didn't really have to get up. You just wanted to.
that's it. Yeah. Well, yeah, especially today. This might be the day I quit smoking. We got about 8 inches of snow out there. So
Ain't no going to the store.
yeah, it's gonna be slow going when I go. So but yeah.
Yeah, it's about 12 degrees, 12 or 13 degrees colder here, TJ, than where you're at.
Yes.
It was 39 this morning when I got up. Now it's 51, 52. Starting to get a little warmer.
Yeah, it's still snowing out where it's still snowing a little bit out there. But yeah. There we go.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up to 72 today, which will be really nice this afternoon.
Oh, lucky you.
Hey,
And then
Joe, if you run
it's-
your Neo down to like zero battery or, where it's had to return to home, not zero, but
The Neo,
yeah.
I had to go up in the air and come down. I had like 5%. Wouldn't come
And-
down. Just stayed there.
And then what
Thursday
happened?
is gonna be cold.
Did you have to control it with your phone?
I was doing autonomous. I was doing a rocket. So it jumps up and goes up about 35 feet above me and decides it don't want to come back. So it stayed there. And I'm standing on there looking at it, waiting for it. And it starts to come down. It gets about 5 feet down. It goes back. So I put my hand out for it to try to see my hand to come down, and it just stays there. So finally, it said low battery landing, and it came down.
Okay.
Piece of shit.
And so did you have your phone controlling it as well, or just was that just
I
turning
had
it on
nothing
and-
controlling it, but it was controlling itself.
Okay.
Gitchy
And-
was controlling it, AI.
So my question is, if you wanted to control it with your phone, but you started it with your hand, could you cross over and take control of it with your phone?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can do that with the phone. If you have a controller, you can.
I don't know if you can do that either because it's already on autonomous mode. Because it's locked into a signal. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I'll try it. I'll try it when it's not raining.
Okay. Do it in your apartment.
Man, I can't.
Next to your
I'll
lamp.
find it. Wind up knocking my TV out. That ain't gonna happen. And you see, Gitchy, I ain't giving her roses anymore. Cause she don't even send me back a snuggle emoji.
Do it right below your fan on your ceiling and turn your fan on full blast and do a rocket.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. That'll work. Yeah, that'll fix the problem. Stevie,
Sean says yes, the Neo will auto switch to mobile or controller.
oh, there you go.
Back
I don't
again
have to do
within
it.
play.
It will auto switch.
It will? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stevie. I didn't want to do it anyway. I'm afraid of that drone because I know one of these days it's just gonna leave and I'll be glad.
You know, he talks about the Neo like he talks about his dogs.
Yeah.
That's Sean, by the way, not Stevie.
I
Sean,
said,
Sean.
Stevie,
Yeah.
who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Capture. Never mind. I know who
Capture
Sean.
Life, yeah.
Sean, I'm sorry. And I know who it is. I just I'm like Lance this morning at SFR.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, Brian.
I got to the S's and I said Stevie and I didn't get to Sean. That's all it was.
Oh, Andrew, I don't know how long the snow is going to last because it's supposed to warm up a little bit this afternoon. I say warm up, get just a little bit above freezing, but it'll probably, as far as the actual snow on the ground, it's because the snow's supposed to quit. It's supposed to stop. I don't know, by noon today it'll be stopped. So, it'll be around until Saturday, and then it'll be nothing but mud and grime and nasty stuff. Probably be the only snowfall we get this year of any amount, and
Do they sand your streets?
yeah, well, they do the main thoroughfares. My street, no, they used to be real good about that, but they don't have enough snows anymore where they, because
Yeah.
we used to get snow every winter, and but now it's like hit and miss. This snowstorm or this storm, it tracked a little lower than they thought it would be because they thought it was going to. I figured we were going to be right on the cusp of rain and snow, which I'm glad we weren't because I don't like freezing rain because that just tears down the power lines, the trees falling, and all that stuff. But this snow is it's a nice snow. And it's probably the nicest one we've had in about 4 or 5 years. So they don't, to answer your question, they try to sand our streets. Probably the main thoroughfares are sanded, but any of the side streets are, they don't even touch them.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't like what do you want to call it? They call it like the snow belt or whatever, isn't that? They said that it's moving farther east or something.
Yeah. The main pattern has shifted. It's just like all of the tornadoes we used to get through here and severe thunderstorms have kind of moved just slightly east of us now. So we're still getting them, but we're not getting them as bad as we.
Yeah, I think the entire tornado alley has moved, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, because we're right in the center of that, right between Texas and Kansas. And so, and we used to get them all the time, but now they seem to be shifting slightly, more towards the Arkansas, Louisiana area as far as right next to us and over. And So yeah, it's shifted about a half a state width or a state, the width of an average. Hello, Brenda. But yeah,
Yeah, the weather's been doing some really funky shit the last few years. For sure.
yeah, and we generally don't it's very seldom we get much snow in December. We usually get ours in January and February, maybe even March, but how are you this morning, Paul?
Well, I did a ship
Yeah, you can call me, Lauren.
and it was cold, cold, cold.
I can imagine. Yeah, you're way further north
Yes.
than I am, so
Yeah, Laura, I got my phone here if you want to call me. Sitting right here next to me.
Laura saying, get on Fortnite, get on Fortnite, get on Fortnite.
I'll be on later tonight, but not right now. I'm gonna go take a nap here in a little bit.
Laura's looking for you to join now.
yeah.
I'm gonna in about 15 minutes. I'm jumping off and going and taking a nap. All right, I'll be back.
So Justin, you don't take advantage of stopping at one of the schools and working?
I think he just left.
Oh, did he just leave? He said
Yeah.
15 minutes.
He's still there, but
That was a quick 15 minutes. He
No,
said,
he's
Yeah.
he's still there.
in 15 minutes, I'm going to jump off, he said.
Well, I'm sure he's talking to his boss, Laura.
Yeah.
So what's up with you today? At school, are you in the middle of getting ready for midterms or?
Yeah, the end of the semester. So yeah, getting ready for that. The semester ends the end of the month, so I'm getting my kids all ready for the final test, and we're still doing other things, but they are going to move on. Most of them move on to a different elective class. Some of them stay and take me for advanced class. It just depends on what their schedule is. But a lot of them will return to me later on. In fact, a ninth grader said, Mr. Cadena, why don't I have you next semester? And he had like health or something. I said, hey, it's the way the schedule works. You'll be back with me at some point.
And that's good that you're the kind of teacher that they actually want to have again.
Photography's, I try to make it as fun as I can, but
Right.
some kids, it just kind of depends.
Some kids don't know how to have fun or what?
Yeah, some kids don't like photography. Some kids don't like to, know what the exposure triangle is. It's too much work, and some love it.
What's
Some
that?
are like, okay, I want to figure this out. Yeah, what's
Yeah.
that?
They have to think if it's, why should they take a photography class and learn all this important stuff when all I got to do is snap a picture on my phone?
all you got to do is stick your camera over your left ear and snap a picture and get a selfie.
That's it. Yeah.
And try to print it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Now do most all your students print their own photography or? the old fashioned way with chemicals and stuff or
Develop.
no?
They do. You use digital, right? They don't use any film now. Oh.
Digital, yep, that's right. Well, it used to be a pain in the butt when you tried to do it with chemicals.
Oh yeah.
When you're playing with regular film,
Here here are my shots from last night.
No, that's a good
One
shot
team
too.
turned up the defensive pressure to win, right? That was when Mandeville won last night. But I had
Right.
6. That's one of them. That's one of them. That's one. Mainly the first few shots I got, I wanted to face his facial expressions. When you look at these, it's basically facial expressions.
Yeah.
And then I started getting action shots to put in.
Oh wow, that's a good one
That
right
one?
there.
That one.
Yeah.
And then this guy doing a reverse with the ball up it.
Yeah.
But I pulled 6 pictures last night. So that's a good day. I had one mom come up to me yesterday, and she goes, "Do me a favor. Don't take too many pictures of my kid."
You can't
I
afford
said,
it.
"What's the matter?" She says, "I can't afford it."
Right.
She says, he looks through the pictures and he puts them in the cart. He says, "Mom, go buy those." And they want the high resolutions at $15 a piece. So she's been averaging about $45 a game.
Wow.
Considering how many, figuring this week, he's in 6 games.
Times 20 games.
No, $15 for each digital. What I charge them.
Well, she should get a group discount.
Yeah, she could. Yeah. Well, if they do like I told them to do in the beginning, I told them put everything in the cart and leave them there until the end of the season. Then tell me the cart, what the number is, and I'll look at it and see how much it is, and I'll have different breakdowns and pictures. Because if it's up to 50, it'll be a price. 50 to 100 will be a price, and over 100 will be a price. And they got to be some kids with 100 pictures out there.
Oh, do some of them do that?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some kids with over 100 pictures that I'll take over the whole season. It's just, but it's better for them to find their pictures, put them in the cart, and at the end of the season, let me know. And then you see what I'm doing. I'm also getting all that money at the end of the season to carry me into July when I start making money again. So I plan it out that way. And then one of the officials last night, he's the North Shore track coach. He come over to me, had a whole conversation with me. And I said, "So when are we going to be on for this year?" And he says to me, "When do you want to do it?" I said, "Well, I want you to make sure you got your whole team together." He said, "Well, right after basketball," he said, "the first week after basketball, we'll have everybody together." He said, "Let's shoot it right away." So I'll be somewhere in February. I'll be doing the North Shore team pictures. And he's got 80 kids this year.
Wow. That keeps you busy.
Well, 80 kids. Last year it was 90 kids, and I profited about $2,000.
Hey, Donald.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Donald.
Lloyd, you wake up to snow this morning?
Oh yeah. Yeah. About
Yeah.
probably a good 8 inches.
Yeah. I sent a picture of it to Jim Beauchart, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, nothing like what we have in Canada or something." He gave me some smart ass comment.
Yeah.
It's like wow, way more than us in Canada. It's like, I said, "I'm sure yours is bigger. In Missouri, anything deeper than my dick is significant."
That's funny.
I'm sure Paul looks at this and says, "Oh, that's it."
No.
But it's still coming down up here.
Wow, stretch these
Yeah,
over.
we still got some coming down here too.
I'm gonna make my daughter take those kids out and let them sled.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I may work through lunch and just go out there at 4.
I got up, I don't know, about, probably about 6 o'clock this morning. I woke up. I thought, I looked out there and now it's about 5. I had to get up and go do the old man thing, run down the hall anyway. So I get up and I thought, well, I'm just going to step out here because I actually found a camera I bought for Judy. It's a little Canon Power Shot, brand new. And so I charged up the battery. I thought, well, I'll snap a picture of this. I thought, I'll just stick my hand out the door and snap the picture. That damn little black chihuahua shot out through there and passed me.
And
And
bouncing.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "You little." So I had to go back. I
He's
just
like,
stepped
chase
out.
me, chase me.
Oddly enough,
Yeah.
I have two cats. One is long hair, and the other one has short hair, but it's really dense. The long hair cat looks out at this. She's like, "No, I think I'll curl up today."
Yeah.
The little short hair one, it's short hair, but it's really dense.
Right.
She loves the snow. She's out in it. I've got video of her making snowballs, playing with it.
Yeah. Well, he decided he wanted to play. He loves to see if he can sneak past me, and most of the time I get him stopped. So, I was just stepping out, but going to stick my hand out there, so I was going to go right back to sleep. So I had to go in there and get my damn shoes on and get my robe and all that and walk back. By the time I got back to the front door, he was standing there looking up like, "Oh shit, I'm ready to come in now."
I can say you don't have to get on shoes and go out chasing them.
Yeah.
Say, okay,
But-
you're an outside dog.
So
Yeah, yeah.
what's nice about it is when you have the animals that know where they live and they don't want to leave.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but there's some people that have like a dog or a cat or whatever. They open the
Oh.
door and it gets out. Down the street it goes. There it goes.
If you have a Siberian Husky in normal times and they get out, they'll run. That's what their brain only thinks run. And get them out in the snow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yep.
they'll bury themselves in the snow.
No, they'll run.
They
And
go
they
on a
just-
dead run. Yeah.
They don't heat up. They just love it. My parents used to have a Siberian Husky that he was a nut, and he would just get zoomies in the snow. Luckily, they had
Yeah.
a fenced-in yard. But the times that he would get out, at least he was dumb enough. They took him for a walk every night or so, every couple nights, and they would walk the same path. And so he would get out, he would run, but he only knew to run the one path. And so you could chase him, or you could go the opposite way and catch him. Depends on how far of a head start he had.
So he
Right.
was up for the hunt, right?
Oh yeah. Whereas
Well,
a basset
He-
hound or a beagle, they're not ones to just run for running sake. They get a smell and they'll just
A
track that
scent.
smell to the end of it. I got to see what's next.
Well, that's like the day I was coming in, and that's when the dog still had access to the front room when I was gone. Now I lock them in the hallway from the back
Mhm.
because I don't want to have that. I don't want to have to chase anybody. So, I
If you
was
open up
coming
that
in
front
carrying
door.
groceries. Yeah, I was coming in carrying groceries, and I'd say back up, back up, back up like this, and the two of them would back up. And Cleo, the little bitty black one, was sitting on the side of me, and I didn't see her, and she snuck up underneath the bags and took off outside. Right, so I get inside, close the door,
You
and I
didn't
get
know she
inside and
was
look down.
gone.
I said, "Where's Cleo?" Like this, and I hear scratching on the door. I open the door, she run back in real quick. It was a regular summer day, right? Not even hot. But she said, "Oh hell no, you're not closing the door on me."
uh-huh.
She knew where she belonged. She wasn't going outside. And you see, if Tino gets out, he runs to the stairs and he looks back at me, and I said, "Don't you go down them stairs." Boom, gone. You know, he'll take off down the stairs, but he runs to where my car's at and sits by the car.
Oh my,
Yeah.
Lloyd's
Yep.
got a little bit of snow.
Yep, that's what it looks like in my house too.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we got yeah, we got pretty good snow there. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the snow on that little table.
Yeah. That's what I've been using to gauge it, because I mean it just keeps stacking up. It's the perfect
Perfect snow gauge. Yeah.
snow gauge. Yeah.
Yep.
It's right at, I just look at the front door like, oh yeah, we're getting a little bit of snow today.
What do you
Yeah,
got? What do you got hanging out of that tree? Is that a broken limb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's and there's probably going to be more before that old tree's been beat up. And let's see, did I unshare that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I just this morning before I got on here, I stepped out with the phone and
Yep.
snapped a couple.
There's mine first thing this morning.
Yeah, yeah,
And you can see the little table next to my
Right.
grill out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
that shit looks so cool on the deck on the rail.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, we got snow here more than we get now. And I can remember my grandmother putting a cup out, like a glass,
Uh-huh.
it was actually a glass bowl out,
Right.
and getting it full of snow and,
Make snow ice
bringing
cream.
it inside, putting a little condensed milk and something else in. I can't remember what else, might have been cream, and mix
Mhm.
it up, and boy, was that good.
Yep, snow ice cream.
Yeah, try that now. You probably get all kind of stuff in it. You never know.
It was probably worse then.
Never know. I'm still here. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I made it too. And yeah, that was the big thing. It's like if we had deep enough snow, go out and get snow ice cream.
Yeah, I used to drink out of
Yeah.
water faucet too,
Yeah.
not the hose.
Ride your bikes around the neighborhood and look for which kid's house is closest. Run the hose and recharge and take off again.
Yep.
That happened to me about 3 years ago. I broke. I was on my Xterra and my hose popped. I was going to a game. My water hose. I pulled in right across from St. Paul's School, and I reached in the thing, got some duct tape, and duct taped it to seal it. And I didn't know how much water I had in there. And I went across. I had an empty container and with antifreeze container. I always keep. I went over and knocked on the neighbor's door. Said, "Can I fill this up with water?" I said, "My hose popped." Sure, go ahead. You know? But she didn't want to answer the door. She was looking at me kind of funny. I also had all my stuff on, looked like a cop. So maybe they had something going on that they didn't want to open the door. But she said, "Go ahead, baby."
Yeah, this would probably be the only real, like I said, the only real snowfall we'll get this year.
Yeah. We'll probably get ice. Well, I don't know. I did not expect us to get this.
I didn't either.
I was thinking it was going to be February before we got anything like this.
Yeah, normally that's where we are. We don't get our big snows until February or maybe early March.
Well, we'll sometimes here get hit maybe mid to late November.
Right.
Just a quick little, hey, winter's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's where-
actual snow that comes down and sticks for a while. No, I'll wait till February. This would have been beautiful a couple weeks ago.
Oh
could have had
yeah,
a white
it would have been.
Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my son last night, and he said because he was having because he deals, his department has to deal with emergencies in the area, so he was on and off with the National Weather Service in video conferences yesterday, and just before he came home, he said, I said the snow came down a lot. It was, I don't know whether it's north. I think it's further south than they expected it. They expected us to be under ice,
Mhm.
and instead that the ice all slipped down I haven't heard what it's like down in Texas. Apparently not too bad because I looked at the news and there's nothing really.
No, I saw Arkansas had some slick,
Yeah,
but I don't know how much of that is actual slickness or just Arkansas drivers.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
apologize. There are plenty of good Arkansas drivers. I made a generalization about a few of them.
That's what they
Oh,
say.
yeah. One of the groups, what's happening in Muskogee, they posted up pictures about how, you know, some people, and they got a few pictures of people sliding around in the snow. So it's like, come on, folks, take it easy. It's just snow, but
Yeah, my son came home last night. He's got a little front wheel drive car, but
right,
he was coming home from his girlfriend's last night. It was a little bit after this had started. There was stuff on the road, and he saw a 4-wheel drive in the ditch, and they had two tow trucks trying to get him out, but they had the road blocked off. So he
right.
had
Oh,
to, so he's like, so instead of just coming the straight shot, he had to take a secondary road, like a country road that had no clearance
right,
out and go the long way around. And he's like, it's stupid. You just take it slow and steady and just go. You don't slam on the brakes. You just go slow and steady. And
right. Well, my son, he has a patrol car, and I think he's got not a Crown, it's a Chevy. I can't remember, or I think, no, it's a Dodge. Anyways, I can't remember what he's got, but he said last night, talking to him last night about a couple things, and he said normally it's a 20-minute drive, 25 from where he worked, from where his job's at. And uh, he said it took him a little over an hour to get home last night. He said the roads were bad coming because they weren't expecting this kind of snow here in Muskogee.
mhm.
And so naturally they haven't been out, the county or anybody's been out sanding the streets. The state highway department has been out, but they just, so that's all right. We got to get it over with and move on.
So Donald, did you finish up your trunk for your dune buggy?
I have not. Um, I have not touched it for a week.
Oh, I thought you were working on it a little bit each day. I was wondering.
I was, but this week has just been just work has been just kicking my butt. And then I had dinners to fix and lodge meetings, and I need to just make a list of small next steps. Next step is just to cut or bring down a spot for the piano hinges to sit.
Now, what do you use, a router to get them in there?
I have a planer that I might be using, but I'll be going along the edge of the board, so I'm not really sure if I want to use the planer or not. I don't want to dig too deep. I'm probably going to use the planer and just be careful.
Because I know that you could set that router for just the width of the
Yeah, I don't have a router anymore. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. I think it got loaned to somebody.
ah. It's one of those things where you had it, and now you don't.
No, I don't. I never
And I was
used
gonna
it much.
I was gonna say, if you put it on there and you trace it and you set that router for the thickness of the hinge, you can just route it out.
Yeah, but you would have to have a guide set to stop your router at that point. You would have to create a little jig underneath so your router would stop at that depth. Since you're going along the edge, since you're going along the flat edge, your router blade, it would be here, and you'd have to put a stop underneath, so your router would cut into here, but your stop would be below the cutting area.
Okay, because whenever I've been a years I haven't used a router, but I had it set for the depth of the whatever I was not going to do.
Yeah, if you're going along a flat surface and you're coming in on a flat surface like that, I would just set the depth of the tip and do that. But since I would be coming down on the flat surface and going to the edge and cutting in from the edge to get that area, because you still need that flat surface. And on an edge, and this is the same problem with the planer, if you're on the edge, you got a little wobble here, and you don't have a big flat surface to work off of. And so if I was to use a router to cut this, I would keep the flat plane, put it over to the edge, and extend out however much, quarter inch or whatever, or actually right there to that, depending on the router bit I had, and have that as my stop, because below a router cutting blade, you got your rounding tools and stuff like that, but you also have the cutting, like the edge tools, where you'll have a spindle down below, which is basically just a guide, and your cutting area is above the spindle, and the router is above that. And so the spindle part of the cutting edge or the cutting blade hits that guide, and the cutting edge cuts the material off, and you use your jig to stop the blade at the right depth. But I don't have one, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I will have that wobble with the planer coming down on the edge. I will have a little bit of a wobble. A lot of it's going to be covered up by carpet, so as long as I get relatively straight, I think I'm going to be okay.
So what do you think, Lloyd?
Oh, not much. I was looking for a video and I can't find it, so I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill out today. I'm gonna call down to the Hyatt Regency down there, or not Hyatt Regency.
Oh yeah, you got to make your reservations.
Yeah, make my reservations and get that all set up. So I talked to my son last night, and I said, I've been looking things over, and I think I'm going to go down to South Florida again. He says, really? He said, I didn't think you wanted to go back there. I thought I went there, and I last year I went, and I think I went too soon. I think my mind is in a different place this year than it was last year at this time. So I think I'll probably enjoy it.
I would think that all those guys that repeat the same thing every year, it's like, it gets to the point where been there, done that,
Yeah, well,
you probably went too soon last year, but it was also probably a good thing.
It was.
But you didn't. But your mind was distracted. You didn't get to actually experience. It was good to be around friends and stuff.
Right,
but
it was.
Didn't experience,
but you're
the
still
actual
mourning.
drone meetup.
Yeah, because I was sitting there. After the day was done, I'm sitting in a room by myself with nobody around, and that's and it.
Yeah, but that's better than sitting at home with nobody around for the entire day.
Yeah. And so, because I could just go down the hall or downstairs, and there was always somebody in it. So
yeah,
but there were a few people that couldn't make it last year that are going this year, and I'd like to meet them. So this may be my last one to go to, but I want to give it one more shot.
You might not go. You might not go next year.
I don't know.
Okay, good. I might go next year.
Oh, okay. So now, but I'm not going. Okay, yeah. It's not like we live 2 hours from each other. But we fly to Florida to meet each other. That's kind of silly, but okay. Yeah, if you're going to be there next year, no, I'm definitely not going. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all terrible.
So, but no,
I'm not going because it's too close to Justin.
it's funny. I didn't meet him last year. He wasn't
Wasn't
there.
there last year.
Yeah.
He don't go to them anymore.
Yeah. But no, I did enjoy it, and but I can actually I got to call another place about their prices today on their airlines, but I can actually fly down there. What getting at this time of the year, I can fly down there and get a car to rent and go into West Palm Beach, which is closer, and upgrade my ticket cheaper than I flew down there last year in a tin can shoved up against the wall. Felt like a damn sardine. But I won't
Well,
make that.
Joe, the court is done, and they're all of the media on the left is touting the fact that he's now a felon, But there's
Yeah.
no fine, no prison, no arrest, no anything, just
Yeah. Just wanted to like I saw, they just wanted to taint his name before
Yep.
the inauguration.
Yep.
That don't
It's
matter.
all
Because
it's
what's
all
going to
it was-
happen? What's going to happen is it's going to get appealed and get thrown out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they need to get that judge for malfeasance, I tell you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes you
think
gotta. I always tell my kids, watch what you do, because you never know when it's gonna turn around and be a snake and bite you in the ass.
yeah. And when it comes down to it, now the charges against him, the way they did that was ridiculous. But and I'm a supporter of Donald Trump. I really am. And I voted, I'm not afraid to say that I voted for him, but in the end, if he hadn't had anything to do with that gal, he wouldn't have to worry about it anyways.
Yep.
Even if he just shook her hand one time, and yeah, he's been in enough scrapes in life to know that, hey, there's certain things you just don't want to get involved with. And he just needs to, hey, don't put yourself in that situation and you won't, you and of course they were trying to, they wanted to use it for what they could, and like I said, I'm a big supporter of his, but kind of wished he'd whatever it was he did do with Stormy, or whatever connections they had to each other. Now if it was all bogus and everything, well, but his reputation of his past acts have kind of set him up for that. So had he not done any of that, of course, he may not be the guy that we, maybe haven't been a little rough around the edges and haven't been down and dirty out in the streets a few times, makes him who he is. But
Yep. And believe me, I don't want to even think about. I don't even want to picture what his connection was.
I don't either. Yeah, I just do not know.
I don't want to see that connection.
Yep.
See, you're right though, Paul. When you've been through crap, well, I've been married twice, and they got that freshman mom, that freshman mom that's been hitting on me. I ain't touching it. And she's actually a sophomore mom,
Mm.
and every time she's coming up and rubbing on me and everything. Hey Joe, how you doing today? How you feel? And then sit there, I'll be taking pictures. Look over, she's just staring at me.
Oh boy,
She's after you there, Joe.
she's hunting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's been friending me on Facebook, and she's talking back and forth to me and everything.
Well, do you-
Wow. So
do you
you have
answer-
developed a social relationship.
Well, that's
Do
about
you-
all it's going to be.
Do you answer her?
Sometimes.
Well, see, if you don't answer her, she'll go away. See,
You got a point.
there is always a way to get out of any situation. It's sort of like the digging a hole. The best way to keep
Yep.
digging yourself in a hole is quit digging. So
Throw the shovel down.
that's it. Throw away the shovel. But then I know guys that they throw away the shovel and they'd use their damn hands and keep digging themselves into holes. So I'm one of those.
Yeah, but she's pretty nice looking though. That's the problem.
Well,
Now, when she comes up and says, "Hey, I'm cooking something. You want to come over to eat?" Then I know I'm in trouble.
yep, yep. But what she's probably trying to do is just get you to take pictures of her kid and get it at a cut rate.
That ain't gonna happen.
Figures.
She's got to pay for
Yeah, that old man, he's got a little snow on top. I'll bet if I snuggle up next to him, I'll get an extra 10% off my pictures this year.
10% might be worse than snuggling.
See, he has his price. I knew it was there somewhere. Yeah.
There's
Hey,
there's
I'll
the
go
bo- there's a
about 10%.
there's always a bottom line with Joe.
Yep. Yeah, I knew I had to do it in monetarily, so he would, okay, so he's good. So he's a 10% hoe.
Like that commercial with the three women, with the guy walks around with the perfume on or the cologne on. And he
Right.
walks around and she says, and they say, if he smells that good, you got my attention. You know? Shit, just superficial, if that's all it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's all it takes. Shoot, I'd spray something that smells like pizza on me. Maybe that'll work.
That's why I'm growing the long hair and the beard, and I'm trying to look as scraggly as I can because I don't want any of them damn widow women coming around bothering me. Just leave me the hell alone, ladies.
Oh yeah, that's what's stopping them.
That's it right there. And that's it. I've always
Well, you
gotta
said that
keep.
one.
Yeah, I did set myself up for that, didn't I? I just walked right
Yes,
into
you
it.
did. You walked right
Here,
into
Don,
that.
here's the door. Let's just take it now.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, his eyes rolled. I said, here it
Oh
goes.
yeah, I knew as soon as it came out of my mind, like, why did I say that?
I was like, oh boy, it is
Yeah,
like Christmas.
exactly.
It's
Like,
white outside,
yeah,
and Lloyd's giving me
yeah,
presents.
yeah. The old goat opened his mouth again. Yeah, I'm a goat, but I'm not the greatest of all times. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I'm just
Doesn't
an
take
old
much
goat.
doesn't take much for him to get you.
Yeah, I know better than to talk like that around Don. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I wasn't.
You weren't thinking.
Yeah, that's it. But today may be the day that I quit smoking because I've got one pack of cigarettes left, and I'm not sure I want to get out in that damn snow. So this might be the day I quit.
Until
There
tomorrow.
you go.
Yeah, well, until the snow melts off, and then I'll go out and get
Yeah.
me some more.
What did they say? Quitting's the easiest thing in the world to do. I've done it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've quit. I've quit about 5 times in my life, and a couple of times have been, 5, 6, 7. One time was 7.5 years before I lit up a cigarette again. Something happened, and I just had to have one. And once I had that one, it was,
Oh, by the way, Lloyd, those shots, those action shots that I shot last night,
right.
that was also with 9 cheerleaders right next to me. One of them almost in front of me. It's like when they spread out like that, they don't move. I can't get them to move unless I get an
Right.
official to move them.
Yeah.
They just don't want to get out your way. And I said, y'all only have me here for half of each game. Like that. And the one in front of me, she was a little bit out of the way, but
Uh-huh.
when they started doing cheers, she was in the way.
Right. Cool cat. Yeah. Yeah. Don's there to knock him down. Yeah. I'm like you. I'm no quitter. So like, I'd quit smoking, but I'm just not a quitter. Well, what was stupid is I went out the day before I went out 2 days ago and got everything I thought I'd need. I didn't even bother to look to see if I was going to need cigarettes during this. So, oh well.
I got one shot that I wish I would have anticipated a little bit more and pulled off that lens. I was at 200 millimeters. I wish I
Right.
had yanked that back down to about 70 because one of the biggest guys on the team, Xenon, he's a defensive lineman. He's got the ball and he bounces it as he's going up. The two guys that are defending him both jump in the air to try to block it, and they
Right.
up in the air in front of him and they hit each other. So I got him from the waist down. If I would have pulled out of it, I had him up in the air like that with him in the background. That would have been a great shot. It's a good shot,
Right.
but it's not a great shot. They hit each other and both of them wound up on the ground.
Oh dear God. Here's an interesting flight that I'm looking at. Takes 12 hours and 17 minutes, and you fly from Tulsa, Oklahoma to O'Hare International Airport and have a 1 hour and 13-minute layover there. And from O'Hare, then I go to LaGuardia. 3 hours and 35 minutes. And finally, I go to West Palm Beach, Florida. Like, do they not know that's going the wrong direction?
Well, LaGuardia though is east.
Oh,
What's the total flight time, including layover?
Layovers 12 hours and 17 minutes.
Oh, you got a layover in LaGuardia, 12 hours?
No, you have it. You have a 1 hour layover, so you're flying from Tulsa to O'Hare, and then you have a 1 hour and 13-minute layover. Then at LaGuardia, you have a 3 hours and 35-minute layover in LaGuardia. I don't even want to think
And then
about
it's
going.
nonstop from there then to Florida?
Yeah.
Well, that's not as bad as some of those you were talking about before.
Oh yeah, some of them, like the one that went out to Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going the opposite way don't make sense.
I know. I don't know.
I took one. I was in. I left DC one time, coming back to New Orleans, and my flight was being delayed for like 2 hours. And they said we could put you on this different flight. Only problem is it's going to land 3 places before you get to New Orleans, but you'll get in an hour early. And I thought they were crazy, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I went ahead and took that flight, and we flew into like I think the first one was somewhere in Virginia, one was in West Virginia, and one was in Tennessee. Little bitty airports.
Right.
We flew into, then from Tennessee it was straight to New Orleans.
Yeah. Here's one
I
on
had to land 4 times on that flight.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple that are now on the return trip. You pay round trip, but you got to schedule your return flight. So here's a return flight that's for an extra $20. Because your return flight is supposed to be zero for the price, but then here's a couple you can upgrade to those for an extra $20. I can have a 2 hour and 15-minute layover in Newark, New Jersey, Liberty International, and then 3 hours in O'Hare. Like, yeah,
that's the places you
Well,
want to be.
13 and a
It
half
might
hours.
be. You get to see the world.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
soon not. Good God, it doesn't make sense the way they. Jesus.
And how much is that flight?
Well, it's going to be around $600, no matter which route I go. But yeah, here's one. It's the fastest route. It takes you. You have a layover in Atlanta for 44 minutes. So, and this is to choose for the return flight. So, this particular one is 200. Well, here's one. It's even worse. It's a 5 hour with an hour layover, 5 hour total time with an hour layover in Atlanta. Extra $317 for that, and this was in a package deal, and the total cost is $909.
So that was
Scratch that one off the
one
list.
way.
No, that's round trip. $909 is round trip. So
Scratch that one.
yeah. So it's just kind of.
I think I blew it.
Here's one in Dulles. There's an hour and a half layover in Dulles I can take, and then another hour and almost 2 hours at George Bush International in Houston. So yeah, I have to pay extra though to fly to Dallas. It costs an extra $272. Total package still cheaper. Total package is $864. So yeah. I think I'm gonna call because last time I had AAA do it and they actually got me a better price of anybody. So I think I'm gonna call them and see if they can set me up.
Lloyd, have you thought about hopping trains?
Man, it's
Yeah.
starting to look like I may. I'm afraid right now I'd have to start like next week on the train to get there in time for the Florida meetup in April. Yeah,
Well, no one said the life of a hobo was easy.
that's true. That's true. Trailers for sailor and
I don't think he's necessarily calling you a hobo. He says you're traveling like a hobo.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
I think he was
Actually,
calling him a hobo.
Actually, if you're going to Florida, you would be probably a vagabond.
Vagabond. Yeah, yeah.
Hobo, according to some sources, means homeward bound.
Yeah, yeah.
So you wouldn't be a hobo until you're headed home.
Till I'm headed home. Yeah. A
Yeah.
vagabond on the way there and a hobo on the way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a bed in there you can go lay in.
I mean, I would never stoop so low as to call you a bum.
Oh well, yeah. No,
I would never.
appreciate that.
I would never say, Lloyd, you're a dirty bum.
Yeah, I always
It's
appreciate
something
that.
I would never say.
Yeah, I know. You're that kind of guy. I appreciate that.
I would never say, Lloyd, you look like a dirty bum that needs to comb the soup out of his beard. I wouldn't say that. That would be rude.
No, no. Did I get soup in it again this time, Don? I'm sorry. I just forgot to.
I would never say,
Okay,
Lloyd, get away from me, you disgusting thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking a vote.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking a vote here. Which picture you like the best?
Well,
One on the right.
yeah, the one on the right shows more action, but it's
This
got
one?
some. Yeah. I like the way he's doing that. It's almost like
The guy looks like he's
Bending
in third
backwards.
grade. Are you sure you weren't shooting elementary kids?
Yeah, that's the smallest guy on the team.
Oh, say the rent.
You see,
Lloyd,
I
you
love
put that
this
song in my
shot.
head.
What?
I love
Oh.
this shot right here,
King of
but
the
I
road.
like this one because of the face here, the face in the back, and the
Yeah,
face there.
I do too. The facial expressions on the three players is much better than
Yeah.
the one on the right where the guy's slamming it down
Yeah.
and the other guy's
And
jumping in
if
the
I
air
would
with
have
a
had
boner
him
on.
fully in there, it would have been a better picture.
Right. But
But it
that's
happened
just-
so fast, that's what I could get.
I would crop the one on the right just below the one and go up kitty corner to the top left. So just
Yeah, but
do
I didn't have any more.
torso-
That was it.
torso and face would be a better picture, I think.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Just crop it like this.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, at that point, you're cutting out his position on the court.
Yeah.
And also you're getting it that sort of looks like a crotch shot of that guy, you know. That's that's the reason I wasn't. I think the other one over there on the left really shows.
Yeah, because you see, last night I was going to send this one in, and then I looked at this one. I said, you know what? And I went to the one on the left, sent that
Yeah.
one in, just because of the facials. And the good news about that, it's this year they're doing something a little different that I didn't know about. He calls me and he says, last night when I sent the pictures in, he calls me up last night, 11 o'clock, and he says, "Oh, I need you to do me a favor. Verify these three pictures. Tell me if you like them." And he sends me three of my pictures. And I said, "Yeah, why? What's the matter?" He said, "All three of them are getting put in this year for best picture." So they're sending three pictures of mine in.
See, now if someone was to enter in three pictures for best picture, I'd say, well, obviously you don't think all three of them are the best picture. One of them has to be the best picture, so you don't even know which one's the best picture.
I gave him the order.
Disqualified.
That's what I agree. But you see, there's no names on them. They don't know who it is till after they vote. But
Right.
they got more entries this year they can put in. And I told him, I said, I don't see why you would use even the third picture. Because the third picture is a good picture, but it's just a basic shot. Now, if it was that third picture of this guy with the faces, I'd think about
I'm
it.
making a joke, of course, because you never know. But when it comes to judging, what the
Yeah.
judges are going to bring to the table. Sometimes they won't use professional photographers or anybody who knows a lot about photography. They'll just use lay people coming in, the people they can grab. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
Well, this is the state of Mississippi. It's the Louisiana. It's the Mississippi Press Association.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their board that's going to vote on them, but it's a blind, so they don't know who the photographer
I
is.
would put in for award shows for the Mid America Cable Expo, where all the cable companies would submit, like for the creative, they would submit for their commercials and stuff. We would
Yeah.
submit for that, but I find out the judges are just whoever they can grab has. So you may have done something that was technically good, and you don't get any credit for that because they didn't know what you'd done. They couldn't see the work that was involved. Or someone who came in there like, oh yeah, that one's funny. Oh yeah, but where's the message? And so they might not know about advertising, but they just laughed at the fart joke. So
Right.
you never know how they're going to judge on something.
Right, you got a point.
So
Well, that's how with Louisiana, when Louisiana was voting on when we were doing it, and the board from LPA was doing it, what they were doing was they knew the people up north, and it was all associated up north, Louisiana, and those are the people always winning. So that's why they now do it out of Mississippi, and they do it blind. Like I told them last year, I said, I guarantee I'm gonna win. Because I knew the picture was probably the best picture out there, because I see all the pictures. And I won. If they do it the same way this year, I think that chick's going to win.
Good start. Poke. P-O-K. I mean, it's poke. Good. Well done. Pretty balanced, but really good. Rachel, there's still time to go in this game. So you are still in it. Here comes your second 4-letter lingo. And it begins with the letter your time. Start.
Fair, F-A-R-E,
Fair. Not the right fair.
feel, F-E-E-L,
Feel. We've got a feel for it now. We almost have.
So now I gotta wait till July to find out if I win again this year.
To McKinney. People one more letter.
Yeah, if I haven't entered an awards show and or anything for like that for it would have been around 2010.
Well,
And I got rid of all my awards. I think I have one award still here. And that was from 2003.
Here comes your second four-letter lingo.
And that was the best of show for the Addies. And I know who the client is. I don't exactly remember which commercial that was.
easy,
Easy. Not easy, got an A.
Earl, E-A-R-L,
Earl. Not Earl.
H, E-A-C-H,
Yes, well done. Good, could that be an important seal? Gets you to £1,890. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Suddenly get a flag. It's very different when you're in the studio, the lights are on, everyone at home goes, why isn't he not saying anything? Yeah, you try coming in.
sorry.
All right, it's time for your puzzle word now. It's an 11-letter puzzle word. It's worth up to £750. You will be playing head-to-head. The first to buzz in with the correct answer will
What
take
am I hearing in the background?
the out, leaving your opponent for the remaining.
Oh, it's Mark. I
Yeah.
didn't even see him there.
Here's the three he sent me last night.
Sign up for this.
See, I like this one myself. There's
Yeah.
all the action in it. I really like this one because of the guy coming over the top, the guy being held right here, this guy almost making the block, this guy getting squeezed, the ball right here. I think that's a good shot. Even
Yeah.
their facial expressions in the back.
Yeah.
This is the winning kick of the game. That's the one that I really like. That's probably going to be the one that has a shot. This
Yeah.
one, I love this shot because it's a sack. I love the mouthpiece right here.
Oh, yeah.
I think that could win the game. That could win it too.
Yeah.
Just because of the mouthpiece. It shows the intensity of the hit. But then he sends me this one. And he said they're putting that one in. It was a playoff game. And she went up for a shot. And both of them off the ground. He liked that.
Yeah.
I don't think that stands a chance on winning the best picture.
Yeah, no, I think that the first or second picture, I would and actually, I think the first picture you showed,
Yeah.
that one's good, and it's got a uniqueness to it with that mouthpiece coming out.
Yeah. That one.
But that one right there,
It begins the letter
It has a lot of elements in it.
Can you zoom into that, Joe?
E-L-A.
This one,
Yeah. Keep going, keep going. Okay,
what you want.
right there, move it over and zoom out just a little bit. Wonder, and maybe get that guy in the stands, yeah.
That one right there is about what the paper shot looks like.
And
Right.
that's kind of what I would crop it as well.
Yeah, I think that's how they cropped it for the paper. If they don't want me, if I crop it, they're gonna crop it again. That's why I
Right.
just give them the full shot.
Sure.
Let them crop it the way they're gonna crop it.
right?
But that's the shot that's in the paper. Looks just like that. It's actually, it goes over a little bit. It's right about there. That's the shot in the paper. And that man in the back is about right there.
Well done.
I think that's the shot of the year. I think if I don't know what the northern people or the rest of the people in the state have. I know what we have around here. There's nothing looks like that. But I just think the hands in the air, the guy in the back, the facial, even this way, her facial expression. You know? But this guy almost blocking it. He's trying to get through. That's Xenon. That's the guy I was telling you about plays basketball. he's being held. Should have been a penalty on the play. You know how it is. And they're coming around with in the ball. That's the best thing.
T-C-E-T-H-T.
So
In the right place. The T is not. We'll forget you.
we'll find out. We'll find out this year. All you can do is take them and they submit them, you know.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Definitely. Not that's how you spelled that. We wouldn't expect it anyway. Dave, you got a chance to steal.
But Paul, I got tonight, like I said, I won't be here tonight. I got 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, it's
So you're
time.
gonna be a
It's
busy,
girls.
busy camper again tonight, huh?
There's 11 games this week.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's,
That
it's
sounds like
junior
just-
varsity girls, junior varsity boys, varsity girls, varsity boys.
12 letters long. It is worth up to 7 trips.
Any games on the weekend?
No. I don't think my next game, let me see. My next game, see, it's the 5th, it's the 10th, the next game is the 15th. The 15th and the 17th and the 17th, 15th, 17th.
Okay, so it's
Next
next
week.
next Wednesday and next Friday.
Yep.
All right, I gotta do one more.
And then I don't have a game until the 24th, 7 days apart.
Battle round.
Then it's Friday, then Friday, and then
Lloyd's got his little pupper dog on his lap.
Yeah.
that's Wednesday.
Now, which dog is that?
This is the little girl. She's the baby of the family. This is Peaches.
Peaches.
Yeah. She's the spoiled one. She was the last one we got before Judy passed away.
And she's a lover.
Oh yeah. Oh, and fighter too. She likes it.
Well, didn't you say is Peaches the one that likes to fight with the big dog?
Yeah. 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 And he just ignores her most of the time until he's had enough, and then he kind of just puts his mouth over and growls a little bit and then steps back, and she's like, okay, and she moves on. Her and her brother, boy, they get in some knockdown dragouts. I have to, because he's really tender-hearted and a sissy, but he's also tends to be a little bit of a bully because he's scared of everything. So he figures if he attacks first, then they can't attack him. So whatever his attitude is, he's
The best defense is a good offense.
yeah. I think that's his idea. So he would be the one to push the big red button if he were president. Before the Ruskies can shoot at us, boom. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go get coffee. I got a meeting here at 10, so I'm gonna go get me a refresh on my coffee. So
Hey,
I will see
Don,
you guys later.
we're probably gonna call it here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm calling it now. So bye.
Okay, call
All
it
right,
now.
Don.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks. We'll see everybody again later today. We won't
Yep.
see Joe, but okay.
I'll be here.
Take care. All right, Lloyd, take care.
All right. Talk to y'all later.